time and patience to attend this webinar. So we really appreciate it for that. For the next 1 hour, we will share and discuss about the topic webinar tonight is a guide to choose Mikrotik product. And during webinar, if you have any question, you may drop the message in the chat box or you just unmute yourself and ask question directly. And by the end of the webinar, hope you will get something good, positive, something benefit, and useful to improve your skill and knowledge. So let me introduce to the speaker tonight, Mas Ahmad Mardiansyah. He is a founder of GLC Networks. He is also a trainer, mentor and consultant, and also experienced in domestic and international projects. Are you ready with your slide, Mas Ahmad?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's begin. The floor is yours. Enjoy the webinar, guys.
Thank you, admin. Okay, guys. So let's talk about the Mikrotik product. So I'm sure everyone here at least knows what the Mikrotik is. So today there are lots of Mikrotik products in the market, and then as the title said, that we'll be talking about how to choose Mikrotik product that is appropriate to your needs. Okay, so these are the agenda. So intro, we're talking about the intro, some talking about prerequisite knowledge, Mikrotik introduction, product guide, tips and tricks. Well, I don't think we have a live practice here. Maybe, yeah. Just log into some of the Mikrotik products, and then perhaps we can do something about it if the time permits. Well, introduction about the GLC networks. We're based in Bandung, Indonesia. So our areas are training and IT consulting. We do Mikrotik. Actually, we do networking, Mikrotik, Ubiquiti, also Linux system administration, and also we do software development like web-based application. We also have our own products, that is GLC Radius Manager. We also do our regular events here. And then, yeah, if you have topics, and then we can share, we can schedule your presentation here. But myself, my name is Achmad Mardiansyah. I'm based in Bandung. Linux users, Mikrotik users, other networking products users, Ubiquiti users. Lots of users. I also do the training. I teach in the class. With many topics. Most of the topics are related to networking, system administration, and programming. Also have contributed in several websites. Also, I have account in LinkedIn. So guys, if you have LinkedIn account, please connect with me. About our experience, we do mostly related to the networking stuff. So it's just like network support, integrations, migrations, setting up routing, and then setting up firewall. So most likely related to the networking. The software that we develop also related to networking as well. So like Radius, billing, and then so on and so forth. All right, about the webinar itself, we started since 2010, 1st January in the new year with various topics. Here we schedule the webinar every 1 week, every Thursday evening. And for you, if you want to know what the schedule, you can just go to our website, schedule, /schedule, or you just go to Google GLC Networks webinar and then schedule. And then you can check the schedule in our website. About yourself, I think that's enough. So I can see here, most likely people are from Indonesia, of course, yeah. Not far from here. Some of you are from Pakistan, from Nepal, from Romania. Okay. Oh, thank you. You are the farthest attendance, yeah, of this webinar. Okay, I don't see anyone else. Usually there are some people from Africa and from East Asia, like Taiwan or Philippines. I don't know. Perhaps it's quite late over there. So, prerequisite. Uh, oh, thanks from Laos. Right. Welcome to the webinar. Right. So this presentation, we assume you to have prerequisite knowledge. So at least you know how computer network works, and then you have tried Mikrotik products before. Okay. So this is not your first time hearing about networking in order to get the most benefit of the webinar. Right, so let's talk about it. So first, as you know, when we talk about networking, we know the 7OC layer, okay, just like what you see here on the slide. Okay, so when we send message to the network, there is encapsulation, okay, started from layer 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay, from here, and then you send it to the media. So at the recipient receive the packets, okay, and then there is a decapsulation process. So like a peeling onions, so you are opening the layer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So each layer is just responsible to the other layer. So so this way, every layer is only focusing on its own layer. So every layer has its own function. So they're just the protocol inside layers, just focusing on their own functions. Okay, right. So as I said, there is encapsulation. So first we started from the user data, and then going to the bottom here, you have you have a series of encapsulation started from data, and then on layer 4 here transport layer. Okay, so the computer will add header. Okay, either if you are using TCP, and then we call it segment. If you are using UDP, the output of after adding the header is called PDU, protocol data units. So on layer 4, you have a segment or datagram, and on network layer here, you have packets, and after that here, you have frame. Okay, so that's the very basic of how network encapsulation looks like. Okay, so when we design our network, so usually we use icons, and then here are the common icons we are using when we develop our own network. So what we usually put in our network are routers, wireless router, bridge, switch, hub, access point, bridge, wireless link, laptop, repeater, switches, uh, serial links. It is very rare. Token ring, copper, crossover, cable. This is we don't use it anymore here. Okay, token ring. I used it very last time in 1990s. After that, it's gone. The technology is already dead, so replaced by the internet. Yeah. So yeah, that happens. So when new technology comes, the previous technology becomes obsolete, and then yeah, uh, that's how it works usually. Okay, so we have other symbols like phone, modem, or firewall, cloud, or internet, and then we have an IP phone. So this phone is the analog phone. The phone over here is the phone that is based on the IP protocol. Okay. Uh, Next is usually when you develop a networking, yeah, develop a network, a computer-based network. So first diagram that you need to make is a physical topology. It's a diagram that shows how the device is connected physically, okay? So I think this is how it looks like. Okay, so you have router here, and then we have CSU, DSU if you are using that technology. But usually we use a cable modem or a DSL modem or a GPON modem. Okay, and then you are connected to a switch or hub here, and then connected to the other access point, to the other access point. And then here we have another repeater, which is functions like a wireless bridge that is connected to the other access point. So others are connected to wire, and then this area is connected to wireless. Okay, so it's simple as that. About the Mikrotik, now let's talk about the Mikrotik, our favorite brand here in this webinar, maybe. So Mikrotik is the name of a company, it's the name of a brand, also name of a programs like Mikrotik Academy. Okay, and then their headquarters is in Riga, Latvia. Riga is here. Europe is this big. Okay, it's quite small. Maybe it looks like in the size of Jakarta, perhaps bigger than Jakarta. Uh, yeah, the population is around less than 10 million, I think. Yeah, so it's based in here, but we are in Indonesia. We are located here, so it's quite far from here to there. Okay. Yeah, as long as you have money and to buy an airplane ticket, and that's gonna be faster, of course. Um, okay, I have one question here. Can you permit to record in local system? No. Uh, the recording will be available in YouTube. You just check our own channel. And as a YouTuber, we always say, please like, subscribe, and share. Right, so what are the Mikrotik products? Well, first, Mikrotik actually is the software company. The first thing that they create is the software, is the operating system that is specialized for networking. Okay, so this is their main product, started in 1996, I think. Yes, you can check the history. So they started in x86. So at that time, if you want to buy their software, you can download the ISO and then pay the license, and then you will install the software in your computer. So your computer, uh, if you want to turn your computer into a router, uh, and then uh, your computer must have more than one Ethernet port. Okay, so as simple as that. Second is they create the router OS, switch OS or SWOS. First is ROS. ROS means router OS. SWOS means switch OS. Unfortunately, the architecture for SWOS is on their Mikrotik device only. Okay, so it's not available on x86. So if you want to play with SWOS, you have to buy Mikrotik products. Okay. Next, and then in early 2000, they are thinking, okay, this product become popular, many people are using it, so why don't we just create the appliance? Okay, so it's just a small box that can do networking stuff like providing the HCP, set up router, doing NAT, do firewalls, and so on and so forth. Okay. Um, Yeah, so router board is called router board. Router board is the hardware, and then inside the router board is the ROS or SWOS. Okay. In the beginning, router board has their own router board, their own website, routerboard.com. But now everything goes to Mikrotik website. Right. So next, what the router OS can do? Well, if you're asking these questions, and then better if you go to mikrotik.com, and then there is a PDF, what is router OS, and then we can see you can see what router OS can do over there. Okay, let me share the whole screen. Okay, what is router OS.pdf? Oh, I think I have downloaded. Um, what is router OS? Yeah, so here it is. Okay, let's talk about the functionality of router OS. Just brief overview about what router OS can do for you, okay, for your network. So this document is quite old, in 2010 when I was in Zagreb in Croatia. It was released, yeah, the last update was in 2000, yeah, early 2010 something. So this is how the router OS can do for you, but actually there is more advancement of the feature. Okay, so the router itself, the ROS itself, okay, is the operating system for a Mikrotik hardware. Actually, it's not only for my router board, but also x86. Um, yeah, it can be installed on PC, a standalone operating system developed from Linux kernel. You can download the CD and then playing something on it. Okay, so here's the hardware. Okay, as I say, Mikrotik produce router board is the hardware. This is how the hardware looks like. Okay, so it's got the PoE in, so that you don't have to put the power DC here. So this is actually traditional power, but here is the PoE in. Okay, here's the console. Here's the, what is it? The Ethernet. Okay, and then here's another Ethernet. Okay, you have a USB here, and then here we have additional card, a slot for usually for wireless. And then they have lots of chips here that do the networking. Okay, so that's about the hardware. And then in order to configure the router OS, this is what you can do. You can do via a Winbox, okay? You can use CLI, Telnet, like this. You can use API for programming, like from PHP or from Python, or you can use web interface like this. Well, this web interface is quite old. Okay? We have our newer, better network web interface of the router OS. All right. Most likely, people just use Winbox to connect to the Mikrotik. Mikrotik also support Firewall. Okay, so it supports destination, uh, um, a source and destination NAT. Okay, it supports UPnP, Universal Plug and Play. It can do filter based on the IP address, port range, protocols, DHCP, and other parameters. Okay. The firewall also support IPv6 and then also support routing. Okay, so yeah, routing is the one biggest strength of Mikrotik. So it supports IPv4 and IPv6. For IPv4, you have RIP version 1 and 2, okay, OSPF version 2, and BGP v4. For V6, you have RIP NG, OSPF v3, and BGP. Okay, it's also support VRF, okay, virtual routing and forwarding, so which is very good. Especially if you have a quite complex and then duplicated subnet, okay? Yeah, we'll be talking about routing later. It's quite interesting, yeah? So you have a duplicated network, like 192.168.1.0, okay? So that, that, that things happens several times in your network, okay? In traditional network, you cannot do that. But VRF, you can do it, okay? Which is cool. Also, you have MPLS, right? Yeah, here is forwarding, okay? Forwarding means layer 2 forwarding. So previously it was layer 3, forwarding is layer 2. So every Mikrotik device can turn into bridge, right? So so you have a Mikrotik device here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever ports, okay? So it's up to you. You can turn them into bridge, okay, or switch. Three of them is switch, and then the other is becomes routing, and then the other here is bridge. So it's up to you, man. That's what I like in the with the MikroTik. So you can do whatever you want as long as you understand how to configure it and understand the basic principle about that. Some layer 2 protocols that they support is WDS. This is for wireless. And then RSTP or STP, this is important in order to avoid looping. Okay. Okay, so that's very good. Also, Microtek has their own version of RSTP in order to avoid the looping on the network. Okay, next is about MPLS. Okay, this is one very cool feature of Microtik. So MPLS stands for uh, sorry, I'm too excited in this webinar. Yeah, so MPLS stands for multi-protocol level switching. Okay, so it means that it can support forwarding. It can replace IP routing. So when you use MPLS, you will be using we will be forwarding packets. Okay, based on label. So previously we forward the packets based on the routing table. Okay, so we ditch out the routing table and then we replace them with label. Okay. So in the future, perhaps there will be, oh, okay. Actually, not in the future. Actually, we already discussed the MPLS. You can check our YouTube video about MPLS, and then yeah, at least you get an idea about MPLS. Okay, so some MPLS feature, for example, static label distribution, so like a LDP, RSVP. This is TE. Okay, so traffic engineering. We have VPLS. VPLS, that is signaling by BGP or signaled by other than BGP, like manual. Also, we have layer 3 VPN, which is good in order to connect your own customer. Okay. Also VPN, right? So everyone likes it. Especially in the country where the government is really strict uh, with which controlling what you can access. So VPN is a big thing. Actually, it is um, for securing your communication. So Microtik support IPsec, okay, and then point-to-point tunnelings like OpenVPN, PPP, EOIP, PPPoE, L2TP. It also has advanced PPP features like MLPPP, where you can bond several links into one link. You have BCP, Bridge Control Protocol, okay, so which you can bridge the point-to-point tunneling into with the current bridge. Also, you have simple tunnels like IP or UIP. This is very simple. We also have the Microtik also supports um, 6 to 4, so IPv6 to IPv4 tunneling protocol. I support VLAN, of course, and then the MPLS-based VPN. Yeah. Okay, so that was the VPN. Also support wireless if the product support wireless stuff. Guys, so if you have any questions, so please write something here in the group chat. I will read it and then I will talk about that to discuss here in the webinar. Yeah, about wireless. Yeah, so here it is. Yeah, currently, as I said, this document is quite old. So now we have AC protocol, the latest not latest, the current protocol that is newer than the existing that is written here. Mikrotik also have their own wireless protocol like NStream or NStream 2 or NV2 that supports client polling. Also can eliminate hidden node problem with RTS CTS. It supports that. It also supports WDS. I'll be talking perhaps the WDS in the future. Also, we have virtual access points like multiple SSID, multi SSID. Okay, and then regarding encryption, they support WEP, WPA, WPA2. Access control is client roaming, wireless multimedia, HWMP, mesh and mesh protocol. Okay, so that was wireless features. Next features is hotspot. This is a yeah. I mean, long time ago, this is a favorite feature for 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 making money. Yeah, but nowadays many devices are complaining with the how hotspot mechanism behave. Yeah, for example, Apple device, they're complaining a lot with the how hotspot works. Okay, because they have yeah, Apple device has their own policy that I don't want to be redirected to something. Okay, because hotspot relies heavily on the network address translation, which is against the what is it Apple's policy. So you can see many Apple device they don't support the hotspot. Yeah, but this is also a favorite a feature from the router OS. So either with that kind of situations, either you stop the hotspot or you can use other um, authentication mechanism. Okay, so here's the hotspot. Hotspot can support radius, user accounting, plug and play, authentications, walled garden, for example. You don't allow, as a default, you don't allow people to connect to networking until they authenticated, but some websites is free to access. Okay. Yeah, that was hotspot. And then, oh yeah, this is also very nice feature from Router OS, that is the QoS. So with QoS, you can limit the bandwidth of uh, particular website. You can limit bandwidth for particular um, clients. Okay, so if they buy 1 Mbps, and then yeah, their maximum limit is just 1 Mbps. Okay, so that's also here's proxy. So proxy, Mikrotik support proxy, but yeah, my suggestion is you set up your own proxy server out of Mikrotik device, because Mikrotik device, if you have lots of what is it? Lots of clients, lots of hosts, and then yeah, Mikrotik has very limited storage to store the cache of the proxies, cache object and the proxy server. Okay. So again, um, if you have any questions, and then please say something in the group chat. Tools, yeah, this is also very good. Yeah, with the Mikrotik. First, the things that I like from Mikrotik is the scripting. Okay, first is okay. Inside the router OS here, you have ping tracer. This is standard. You have a bandwidth test, ping flood, sniffer. Okay, like Wireshark. Yeah. Also, Torch. Torch is a kind of sniffer as well. It can be used as a telnet client, as a search client. Okay, it can send SMS directly from here, which is good, right? Send SMS if you put directly to a GSM modem. Yes, it can send SMS. This is what I like. Okay, scripting language. Okay, so which can you can do many things here on the router OS. Kalia data mirroring, if it is supported by the government, if the government says that okay, you have to activate these features. Fetch tools, if you want to download from something, active connection tables in the firewall. You have it has support NTP, either NTP client or uh, NTP server. Here, okay, a TFTP server. Okay, so if you are using what is it, Cisco? Okay, Cisco iOS requires TFTP server, right? So for that purpose, you can use Mikrotik. Okay, put the image into Mikrotik, and then the Mikrotik becomes the FTP server. Also VRRP for redundant routing, redundant router, and then SNMP for monitoring, um, so that based on the monitor data, we put into the we collect all the data, the monitoring data, for example, every 10 seconds, every 30 seconds, and then based on those data, we can develop a graph. After we develop a graph and statistics, and then we can check what pattern pattern of the network. Okay, and then if we know the pattern, then we know that okay, this is usual, this is unusual. Okay, so yeah, that was the router OS. Oh, okay. There are more. Sorry. Yeah, router OS also support the Dude. The Dude is the network monitoring software. It's free. Okay, you can use it. Okay, with free. Either you can install it in the router in the router board itself, or in the x86. So most likely, Microtik suggests to install the Dude in their in a Microtik device or platform. Okay, so previously the Dude can be installed in other platform. Okay, but it's not recommended. So first, uh, you need to install the ROS first, router OS. After that, install the Dude. All right, here's the license. So Microtik requires you to have a license if you want to use them. So these are the license level 0, level 1. Level 1 is demo. And then level 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we don't have level 2, okay? Level 2 now available. Level 3 is for CPE, for a client. Level 4 here is for AP. Level 5 um, is a extension for AP. Level 6 is for controller. Okay, so the ultimate things is the level 6. The ultimate license is level 6. Okay, so I think that's all. That's all what you can see in the router OS. Okay, so let's go back to the slides. Okay, so at least now you know how the Mikrotik OS looks like. Okay, what router OS can do for you. Mikrotik, because Mikrotik has lots of features, lots of users, so they also thinking about, okay, let's make a certifications. At least we can certify how good your skills about Mikrotik. So that's why they create training and certification. So we have, when you start, okay, you start from MTCNA, and then depends on your requirements. So if you are want to manage uh, a queue, for example, yeah, like you're managing bandwidth of users, you can use MTC TCE. TCE means Traffic Control Engineer. MTC means Microtik Certified. So traffic control. SWE means switch engineer if you are using layer 2. MTCSE is for security engineer. Okay. IPv6 is for IPv6. And then UME means user manager. Here is for example, if you use Hotspot. okay, or VPN. Yeah. So here is enterprise wireless. So here you can use Capsman. This is for indoor wireless. Then here you have wireless engineer. This is for outdoor. Okay. Next is routing RE. This is routing engineer. This is for I think this is for internal AS. Okay. So interior routing. So here you will understand how to configure OSPF. After that, you have MTCINE. So here you will be configuring inter AS. So you will become an internet here in MTCNE. So there are two topics here, which are BGP and Mpls. Okay. So those are the explanation about the Mikrotik certification and training. All right. So certificate is valid for 3 years. After that, you need to renew it. Now let's talk about Mikrotik products. So actually, when you check Mikrotik products, you just go to Mikrotik website and then click hardware, and then you can see all the hardware over there. Other alternative, you can download the product catalog. Okay, so if you are too lazy opening the Mikrotik products website, you can download the what is it catalog, Mikrotik product catalogs. Okay, so I'll be talking about the catalog here because yeah, today we'll be talking about that. So I already downloaded the Mikrotik product catalog. So it was released in 2020. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. Okay. Yeah, so this is how Mikrotik define their product. So this is a new product, their new product, GPN, IoT, premium classes, and then power line. And then they have a Mikrotik routers, which is routers that is dedicated for Ethernet. So Ethernet-based router. So here there is no Wi-Fi. Okay, so Ethernet router is just the router. So their main function is just the router here. Okay, so which is the layer 3. And then they have switches. Okay, the switches is quite new. Not maybe started in 2014 or 15. Yeah, I'm not sure. So actually, previously Mikrotik never produced any switches product. Okay, but now they have switch. Okay, so it means that this is the layer two products. And then also they have, this is their classification. Okay, so they have outdoor wireless system. Okay, so this is for outdoor. And also for Soho. Okay, so Soho means it combines Wi-Fi and Ethernet router. Okay, so any Soho products usually contains Wi-Fi and Ethernet router. Also, they have LTE support, and also they have devices with LTE support. Yeah. So, for example, if you are living in a remote area where the signal that received from your phone is very, very low, so you can use this product to get signal from the LTE, from the nearest LTE. So if your phone is dead, but with this LTE, with the gain that they have, they can still receive the signal from the LTE base station. Other alternative is router board. Here it means that you just buy the board, okay, not the case, not the enclosure, okay, just the board. So the enclosure is your responsibility. Also, we have accessories. So why Mikrotik? Well, we have discussed uh, the Mikrotik before, okay? Why Mikrotik? Of course, when we talk about why Mikrotik, we need to talk about their features, and then we already talked the features in the previous discussion, in the previous PDF. Okay, what is router OS? But the things that people like most from the Mikrotik is here, best price performance. Okay, okay. So that's why we choose Mikrotik. So Mikrotik is worldwide, has a worldwide usage. So yeah, as you can see, red dot here as I think is the place where MUM, yeah, was I mean a distribution, yeah, distributor of a Mikrotik product is spread across the globe. And here is the feature of RouterOS. We have discussed it. And every year, usually there is a MUM, Mikrotik user meeting. Uh, Last year in 2020, we have Mikrotik MUM for Indonesia. Yeah, lots of people. You can check the recording on the YouTube. Also, Mikrotik support Mikrotik Academy. They have a corporate incorporate with the schools. So schools uh, will teach Mikrotik curriculum, and at the end of the semester, students can have um, a chance to be participate in MTCN. Okay, so that was Academy. Okay, let's talk about the products. Here they have GPair, GPen. So previously we know about GPON, right? Gigabit passive optical network. Here is a GPen because the GPON is quite expensive. GPen is using Ethernet cables. Right. So the devices are here, 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 and here. So this is how what you implement if you are using a GPen. Okay. Okay. So instead of fiber optic, we use copper cables for that, and then the speeds can go up to 1 gigabit per second. Next product is the IoT. Yeah, so Mikrotik also play with the IoT. So they have a product for yeah a card for products where it's running on IoT spectrum. So for example here, okay, this is Mikrotik, not Mikrotik, IoT spectrum. So all the IoT, all the sensors are running on this frequency and then sending data to the concentrator via wireless. Okay, so Mikrotik supports the IoT environment. Okay, I'm not talking about talking about the IoT. Here is the other products. Okay, premium class. Premium means quite expensive. So first is SHA-2 LTE 12. So here is the it's a router and then access points also LTE client. Okay. Also audience, they also support LTE. Yeah, other series is power line. Power line means you can use your power, electrical power. Yeah, you can use existing electrical power installation for data transfer. Okay, so which is very cool. So here are the products. Okay, you can check the specs there. Okay, so next is the hex. Hex means home express routers. Yeah. So here is a dedicated router. Yeah. H mean home. Yeah. So small h mean home. Okay, EX means Ethernet exchange or routers. So we have a light versions, light with PoE, the normal hex, and then the hex with PoE. Also, we have a hex S. The difference is here with the SFP. Okay. Also, Mikrotik has PowerBox series. PowerBox means it's a it's a it's a it's a device, or it's a device usually installed in the tower. So you have a power box here, okay, and then you have a device over here, antenna. You have antenna over here, okay, device, wireless device over here, over there, and then they get power from the power box, okay. So yeah, so it can save cables. So only one cables, only one power cables from bottom to the power box, and then from the power box it will charge the electricity to other device in the tower, which is cool. Okay, next is 2011 series. Okay, as you can see here, IN means indoor, so it means it has no mounting. RM means rack mount, so that you can see it has a mounting here. Another has IN as well, okay, with the SFP ports. Okay, other other a variation of 2011. Next class is 3011. Okay, so this one is based on the ARM architecture. Okay, and then this one is used for a rack mount. The next feature is 4011. Yeah, so this is the latest one. Yeah, it's much faster than the previous one. You can add for in the beginning it's designed for indoor here, but you can add uh, a mounting if you want to put it in the rack. Okay. Next is 1100. Okay. So previously it was X2, so 1100 X2. Now 1100 X4. So 4 X4 means it has 4 core. Okay. So previously it was dual core. Yeah. Previously it was Power PC. A Power PC was a microprocessor from Motorola. Now it's using a different processor. Okay. Yeah, it's another variation of 1100. Okay. Here's the flagship of the Mikrotik CCR. Okay. Very famous. Okay. Uh, what they are using now is a Tilera processor here. The Tilera multi-core processor. So 09 means 9 core. Yeah, and then they have PC. If you see PC means it's passive cooling, so there is no fan. So it's very silent. Here's another variation of CCR 1009. Okay. Next class is for CCR 1016. So it's 16 core. If you see S plus means it has SFP plus. SFP plus means it can go up to 10 Gbps. Okay. So if you just see G like this, there's only the speed, maximum speed is only 1 gig, 1 gigabit per second. Here 1036 is very common for BGP routers. So 36 core, okay, 36 core, 36 core, 36 core. So different variation. And then here's the strongest and then the most expensive router from RouterOS is 1072. So it has 72 core, okay? Yes, 72 core of CPU, Tilera, from Tilera. Okay, so all of them are SFP plus. So each port here, okay, can goes up to 10 Gbps. Gbps, yes. Right, so yeah, so it was the highest router from the router OS. Next is the switches. Okay, first is the SOHO switches. Okay, this one, so it's very small switch, only 5 ports. Okay, and then they have a fiber box, also a switch with all ports are SFP. Okay, next is the switch, another switch here, P05, and then we have switches for SMB. Okay, usually SMB switches, usually they have a Wi-Fi here, okay? And then most likely they are indoor. Okay, indoor switch, put it on top of the desk. Okay. And then they have 3 to 8. Okay, and then they Mikrotik also have enterprise switches like CRS. So the enterprise switch usually with the code comes with the code CRS. CRS means a cloud router switch. Okay, cloud router switch. So cloud means cloud, router means this software can be turned into router. Okay? So in one side they can be used for switch, the other side they can be used for as a router. But please remember that this is designed for switch for layer 2. You can use it as a router, but that is not appropriate. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to say in the previous slide. They have a CSS, right? Yeah, here. So CSS here is called Cloud Smart Switch. So it means that it's dedicated just for layer 2. This is layer 2 only. Okay. But CRS, you can use layer 2 or layer 3. Okay, that's the big difference between CSS and CRS. Okay, so this is not a CRS, and then I think this is their highest router, the highest model for the switch. So it has 48 ports. Okay, 4 SFP to QSFP. QSFP means it can go up to 40 gigabit per second. So there are 2 ports QSFP with QSFP. Okay. And then RM means Achmad. Yes, of course. Usually this is for data center, right? It's not something that you put on your desk. Otherwise, you'll be drowned in the cables. Yes, the alternative is this 328 4C. C means combo. Okay. 20S means SFP, SFP plus with 4 SFP plus. Okay, next is 2 gigahertz with the embedded antenna. Okay, so all of this is for 2.4 gigahertz. Okay, and then here is for the base station. Okay, so usually this is for CPE and this is for AP. Either you can use a 62, that which is upgraded with the license level 4 here. Okay, so previously it was license level 3, right? So level 3, level 3, level 3. Okay, so here, if you are using AP, the license has to be level 4. Yeah, so either you can use this SSD or MNT box. And so previously was 2.4 gigahertz. Here is 5 gigahertz. So same thing. Okay, up to 10-kilometer distance if there is no noise, there is no there is no obstacles in between. Okay, it can go up to 10 kilometers, but yeah, I suggest not to apply just 10 kilometers. So you have, if you want to get a better performance, so a distance must be shorter. As you can see, all of them are for CPE here. Okay, another CPE. Okay, so here is also, yeah, for longer range, more than 10 kilometers. Here's the models. Okay, so most of them are CPE. Okay, so yeah, usually when you apply wireless, um, you have a CPE, you have AP. Here, another, another family for medium. Yeah, so more than 10, around 10 kilometer plus. Okay, here it is. And then here's the for AP. Okay, so previously 5 gigahertz CPE. This is for 5 gigahertz AP. Oh, it's already 9 o'clock here, so I have to make it faster. Sorry. Uh, yeah, so this is for AP. Yeah, you can use SXT or MNT box, Omnitic. Yeah, all of them are designed for AP. And then here, if you have, so previously all the models here is already have a integrated antenna. Okay, integrated base station. So what are the integrates here? Is the antenna. Okay. So if you want to use other antenna, so let's say you are build your own antenna, which is very best in the world. Well, you can use your own antenna, and then you just buy a connectorized unit. So the antenna is your responsibility. So they will provide the radio unit, but the antenna is yours. Okay, so either you have groove, you have metal. Why is it metal? Because all of them are the casing. The case is from metal. From metal. What here is plastic. Okay, so material is plastic. Base spoke is also plastic, but the net metal here is from metal. So what's the benefit of using metal? Because if you use metal, the noise will not be higher, will not be spread to the next unit. Okay, so the radiation that is comes out from the units can be eliminated because we are using uh, metal materials. So I have to be faster. Okay, so it's already 9 o'clock here. This is a 60 gigahertz. So yeah, 60 gigahertz. 60 gigahertz is a new band. Okay, either you can use a point to point like this. Okay, or point to multi-point. Okay, this is for point to point. Okay. Tube light can be, yeah, for 60 gigahertz is used for, is used for high throughput with a short distance. Okay, yeah, because yeah, it's using new modulation, and then yeah, new technology for 60 gigahertz. And then we have 6 gigahertz. Okay, so this is quite not common. It has to be licensed because unlicensed is 5 gigahertz. If you use 6 gigahertz, then you must have a correct license in order to use this one. Okay, so next is for single band. Single band means it can only operate on 2.4 gigahertz, usually for SOHO. Okay, so this is the very attractive, also cheapest. People like it. You can put it on your pocket, very small. Yeah, here is the uh, also this is for small access point, very small. Okay. Also here. Okay. So this is MIP. This is MIP large. This is for C. C means ceiling. Yeah, this is you put on the ceiling. This is WAP. You can put it on ceiling or wall. W here is for wall. Okay, so other router that is usually most for office is RB951. This is for for small Soho or 2011. Yeah. Okay, and then is the dual band. So dual band. So previously it was single band here, only 2 gigahertz, but here in dual band it provides 2 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. So we have a selection of CAP here, uh, hub light, have AC light. So AC means support AC. Here's the normal AC, not light. So the light one here has a lower processor. Okay, hub light is higher processor. Also used here is wall access point. This is 4011, as I said, is the has a biggest performance for Soho. Okay, another is WAP, wall access point. You can put it on the ceiling as well. So here you have a device with LTE support. Okay, it's like a WAC with WAP with AC with the LTE. Also, you have LTAP here. This is also important. Not important. I mean, interesting because you can use this device because it has a GPS. Okay, so it has a GPS support with the SIM. Okay, so this is for tracking device. So you put here on the device on the car, and then as long as it can send a signal to the GSM provider, it can send, okay, the coordinate of this car is this one. Okay. That's the LTAP LTE. Also, we have a SXT LHG for LTE. This is for LTE client, as I said. Okay, so this is the BTS a tower, and then you are here very far away. So you can use here. This is a pole, for example, you put it on top so that you can send signal to the BTS. Yeah. Okay. Next is the router board only. Yeah. So as I said, you can just buy a board only. Okay. But the wireless card and then the antenna is your responsibility. Okay, device with multiple Ethernet port, accessories. As I said, this is the enclosure. Okay, all of them are enclosure. So you buy the board, you have to buy the enclosure as well, and then you can buy a card separately. Yeah, so you can create your own customized solution, and yeah, lots of things here. Here's the accessories like cables, fiber. You know, the Mikrotik support, they produce their own SFP, okay? Either point-to-point SFP like this with the QSFP, so it can support 40 gigabit per second, or a normal SFP like this. So SFP has two modes, either dual mode or single mode. I mean, multi-mode or single mode, right? So you have to be careful when you buy SFP modules. Okay, another SFP modules, okay. Yeah, you can buy based on their distance. Yeah. Here is the another product for multiplexer of fiber communications. Other is power supply here. If your power supply broken, then here are the selection you can choose. Okay. Uh, Power translator, for example. here. So it can convert from 40 to 24. Here is the PoE injector. Here's the power adapter. Okay, this is the UPS. Right. So if there's a blackout, and then yeah, this one has a battery inside. Okay. Yeah, Mikrotik also produce antennas like M-Ant antenna. This also 30. So this is 30 dB antenna. Also 30 dB antenna with precision alignment. So PA means precision alignment. Okay. Others is radome. Radome is the cover. Yeah. And then here's the sleeve like this. Okay. It's useful for point to point. Yeah. In order to make the signal more focused on the single point. Okay. Here's the mounting to mount the wireless device on the on the mounting point. Okay. So either you can use quick mount. Uh, yeah, we have a different quick mount here. LHG, solid mount, also mounting like this. Okay, so yeah, with this mounting, it gives flexibility of how the network device align on its place. Okay, here is other accessories for wireless, and then that's all. Oh, it's quite long, eh? Ah, okay, so let's get back to the slides. Okay, so at least you know you get the idea how Mikrotik product looks like. Okay, we have a wired and wireless products, and this is how Mikrotik naming that product. So based on the code on their product, at least you know the features inside the product. For example, if the product contains U, usually it has USB. A means advanced, so usually higher license, okay, or higher processor power. If you have H with the wireless means a higher power level like 23 or 24 dBm, or can be meaning as a higher processor. D means dual chain, and small n means support 11n wireless protocol. All right. So also be careful when you um, download the software, because you need to be aware of the architecture of your router board. Okay. So like MIPS LE, MIPS BE, Tilera, and so on and so forth. So architecture means the CPU architecture. Okay, tips and tricks. First, you need to know what to do. Okay, so at least you know what you want to do with your network. Okay, after that, and then it really helps you to choose the best product for you. Okay, allocate your budget. Okay, of course, yeah, this is very crucial one. You can use feature selection on Mikrotik website. This one is also important. Okay, can do doesn't mean must do. Okay, so for example, can CRS use as a router? Yes, it can, but you don't have to. Okay, you don't have to. You must do a routing with the CSS. Okay, I said sorry, CRS. Yes, CRS is switch, right? So CRS can be used as router. Yes, it can, but it's not appropriate. If you use CRS as a router, the CPU will go higher very quick, like 70% and 80%, 50%, especially if you are applying network address translations, doing here and there, okay, doing many things. No, man, it's not appropriate. So CRS is designed for switch. Okay, do not use it. I mean, I don't want to use it as a router, as dedicated router. Okay, so please be careful with that. And for outdoor wireless, please understand RF, radio frequency. You can use Mikrotik product selection guide, especially for wireless. And then you can use wireless link calculator on the Mikrotik. Okay. So this is example of Mikrotik wireless product. Okay, they have a category for indoor and outdoor. They also have a product selection guide here, as you can see. So yeah, select frequency and then guide. So if you have, also if you have Mikrotik account, you can log in and then go to here, Mikrotik calculation. So you want to check from this point to this point, okay? What kind of antenna do I need? Okay, and then check the status here. Is it reliable or not? So you can use a point A. It's using 5 gigahertz. Okay, let's say which data rate you want to achieve. So let's say 45 Mbps. Okay, so point A is 5HC. Point B is for example MNT box, and then is the antenna gain, RX sensitivity, and then output power. And then check, Mikrotik do the calculation, and then here's the results. Okay. So guys, I think, is there any other slides? Oh no. Right, so I think that's all about the guide for Mikrotik product guide. So I'm sorry, we're already very late here. So if you have
Yes.
any question, this is just the last questions. If you have
Any question, guys?
any questions, only the last one. Otherwise, we'll we'll close the
Yeah, I
webinar
think
here.
it's more than 1 hour.
It's already 1 hour. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Mas Ahmad, thank you so much for your lessons. It's been a great
Awesome. Yeah.
sharing time today. And
Right, thank
guys,
you.
thank you so much for your interest and participation on our webinar. And maybe last but not least, can we take picture together?
Oh, yeah,
Can you
yeah,
stop
yeah.
sharing first?
Yeah, right. Thank
It's like
you.
lately more than 1 hour.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Okay, guys. So please turn on your camera. Okay, I
Oh,
will
where's
turn on my
Chris?
camera as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. This person from overseas as well.
Yeah. So, guys. So hopefully
Smile.
you can yeah you can at least you get something from this webinar. At least
Yes.
when you see Mikrotik products, you know how to choose
How
the
to choose
product
the best one.
appropriately. Yeah, yeah. So I will take a picture. Okay, we'll count 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up,
1,
please.
2, 3. Yes.
Oh, there is one question. Difference between Cisco and Mikrotik. Tough
Mm.
question, actually.
Okay. Difference number one is price. Okay.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So that's one big difference. And then the
Any
feature.
other difference? Oh, wait.
Yeah, features. Yes. Yeah,
Maybe Mas
price.
Paulus Winarno know that.
No, I don't know.
He's the expert.
Yeah. Okay,
All
guys. So
right.
hopefully that answered questions. Who said that? Amrit Shahi. Yeah. Okay. So big difference between Cisco and Mikrotik is the price performance comparison. Okay. So with the same amount of money, you will get the same performance. You will get so you have $100. Okay, with $100, you can get a lot with the Mikrotik. Okay, or $200. But with $200 with the Cisco, what can you do? Okay, so with $200, you can get two routers, and then with that routers, you can play with bandwidth management, hotspot, with many things. Okay, with
Oh, I think
Cisco,
Mikrotik will give you a
yeah, it's a price
details.
performance benefit. Yeah, price performance comparison benefit. Yes, that's I think it's the appropriate word for that. So guys, I think that's all. Again, thank you very much. It's pleasure to see you here, and then please again submit your feedback. Okay, I put the feedback here again on the group chat. Okay, please. Okay, please.
Yes. Don't forget to follow our social media and then the
Yeah,
YouTube channel as well, and give your
feedback.
feedback.
Yeah, okay. Could you please the guide step to get first Mikrotik certificate? Yes, come to Bandung and then you'll get your certificate. We will provide the training for you. And then at the
Exactly.
end of the training day, there is an examination day. If you pass and then you get the first, your first Mikrotik certification. MT sini. So
All
guys,
right.
thank you very much again. See you.
Thank
Hope you
you and see
enjoy
you next
and then
week.
see you next week. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.